Hello everyone, you can probably hear me but you can't see me at the moment. For some unknown reason the camera's turned off. I'm just going to try and bring that up, but welcome. This is the Weekend Watchlist, your weekend live stream from Still Only 35 Fronts. Lots to talk about this week, and when we do get the cameras up and running, it will be fun. It's never quite as smooth as we like it to be, but we do our best. We are live on Facebook, we're live on Instagram, on YouTube, and we're live on Twitter. So shout out to everybody in each of those respective platforms. Welcome. Let's try and get some of these cameras up and running. For some reason, that one's not working. So you can probably see, let's see if you can see this one. Okay, so that's not working. Oh, it's never smooth. It's never smooth. No matter what you try, it always seems to mess up. Maybe we'll bring this to the stage at the moment because maybe this is our first discussion of the week, following on from last week's discussion. Let's just get rid of, keep this going. And let's see if we can add another camera and to add to the mix. That's not working. Extra camera. There you go. So we have, no, we don't have, that's the intro logo. Wow, this is going so well. Yet another StreamYard's disaster for me. Let's see, stop extra camera. Remove this from the studio. Add this to the stage. Maybe if I remove this. Amazing. That's how it works. So, in theory, we should be back online. Now, if I do this, you should see me. There you go. We're back and we're live and we're here and we have the coffee. This is 10 o'clock in Australia. So welcome to the future, people in the rest of the world, New Zealanders aside. They are 2 hours ahead of us. So you're in my future. Everybody else is in our past. So welcome. So yeah, lots to talk about this week. I've got some books to share with you, which I got literally on the 31st of December 2023. So I'll share those with you today. I've got another video upcoming with my first delivery from 2024, which is a mail call of books that I've got from, I have a storage locker in the US that I send books to, and then I bring them back, consolidate them and bring them back. And I brought a whole batch over the last week or so. So I'll be doing a couple of videos on those mail call videos where we'll break them open, see what I got. And yeah, you can go through those with me. But the batch for this week is going to be that collection that I purchased from at the end of 2023. I bought it on the last day, as I mentioned, of the year. So that was a great way to go out. There's some big books in there. May have overpaid for some of these, but they are in pretty good shape as well. So I'm super happy. Some of them will be going to CGC. So let's see what they look like. The other big news, obviously, is the list. CGC issued the list for the comics that were affected by the Reholder scandal. There are around 350 books. What we'll do is we'll probably jump straight to that because that's the key piece of news that's affecting our favorite community here at the moment. So I wanted to sort of just go through some of those books, see, essentially, I'll check the list myself to see if I had anything. Luckily, I don't. Unfortunately, I feel for the people that are affected by this. I mean, there's a significant number of those books, but let's just go straight to the CGC piece right now. So they issued this statement following on from their previous statement. So Certified Collectibles Group, which includes CGC, has released updated information related to the incident involving an individual tampering with CGC Comics holders. Based on current information, we believe that approximately 350 books, comic books, are affected. A list of the impacted books has been posted on the CGC website at cgc.click/HTI. Now, we'll go through that in a minute. Let's just switch to the next page here. So if you purchase one of the comic books included in this list, you can submit it to CGC Comics for review. Instructions to submit an eligible book for review are at cgc.click/HTI. If your book is determined to be correctly graded, it will be reholded with a new certification number and returned to you at no charge. If your book is determined to be incorrectly graded, our support team will contact you. You may be asked to submit certain additional documentation as part of the review process. The list of impacted books will be periodically updated as the books are submitted for review, and they've already started doing that. Our goal is to remove all impacted certification numbers from the market and ensure that anyone who purchased one of these books is appropriately compensated for losses arising from any failures in our services. Now, that'll be interesting to see what that actually turns out to be. So far, we've not heard from anyone that is impacted and what remuneration or compensation is going to be given to those individuals. But I'm sure that will be covered. I haven't dug around on the boards for the last week, so I should probably go back onto the CGC boards and just see where everything's at. I'm sure somebody, I noted that one of the ASM number one that is on that list has already been scratched off. So we'll cover that in a minute. And then the statement goes on to say, CGC exists to protect the collecting community. And in the last 36 years, we've certified more than 85 million collectibles, each one backed by a comprehensive guarantee. The trust we have built with our community sometimes makes us targets for bad actors, and despite our vigilance, this individual tampered with some of our holders. That's similar, or that's a placeholder text, I think, from the previous statement. And then they go on to reiterate, I think this is again a reiteration of the previous statement. In addition to the initiatives described above, and as previously reported, we have retained a leading private investigative service and an outside counsel to conduct a comprehensive review of this incident and our processes, and to help ensure that this individual is held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. We have already made significant improvements to our processes as a result of this incident, and we will continue to take appropriate steps to ensure this type of incident does not happen again. So again, good that CGC are taking those steps. It'd be good to get a sense from them what that looks like. Is that a new slab? I had a very interesting conversation on Swaggerhoss's channel recently when he opened it up for people to sort of come on and discuss. And he and I talked about, is it time, or will CGC issue a new holder? That takes a lot of time to do. So we'll see what they do with that. I'm of the opinion that the holders still good. I think the issue is more around the label, because that was probably the weak point if you look at it, right? I mean, the separate label versus the inner well, in previous instances, they were married. And I think the CBCS slabs do have that same piece. So you can pretty much tell if someone's messed around with a label in that instance. So hopefully we'll have an update from them in terms of how their processes will improve in a short while. But then then it goes on to finish with go to cgc.click/HDI for a complete information and the list of impacted certification numbers. If you have any questions, or if you believe you have a tampered book that is not on our list, please reach out to us at reportfraud@collectiblesgroup.com. Now that's an interesting one, because I don't believe that was covered in the previous statement. So even if you do have, even if you think you have a book that is not on this list, you should still be reaching out. So that's new from them. So again, let's hope there's no more books that come out of that in addition to that list. But it's good to see that they're already not just limiting it to this. They're going, if you have a suspicion, just go and email. So if you have any books that you think may have been tampered with that aren't on that list, probably still useful to send it to that email as well. So maybe we'll switch to the tab where they have the updated information. So here we have it. So again, this is the same statement that they listed below, but let's just move to the list because I think this is where it gets really interesting. And you'll see they've started to update these in terms of the books that have come in. So, I mean, it's a pretty extensive list, and you'll see here, it's not just limited to these sort of modern books. It's also some very early keys that are on here as well. So, you know, you'll notice here we've got an Amazing Fantasy 15 on here. Like that in itself is scary as. Let's hope that that is not a tampered with book. It's fascinating that this has happened here. So we've got an Amazing Fantasy 15 with Stanley 86 written on page 1 in pen. Again, that book is exceptional in terms of value. So, you know, a 6.5 there. You know, I haven't looked at the GPA or Go Collect in terms of the pricing on that, but that's in the thousands, tens of thousands of dollars at least, right? In terms of what that is. ASM number 1, that's a book close to my heart, so I have one of those myself. An 8 in that. You know, again, we're still talking in the tens of thousands of dollars for that book. Again, signed by Stan Lee. So that probably, I don't know if that looks like it's a signature series. But again, I need to sort of look back and go through this list and just compare. But yeah, that one has been struck out. So that assumingly has already gone to CGC. Now, we're not sure yet what the strikeout actually means. Is that actually at CGC for review, or is that actually been no longer an affected book and has been reviewed? So we'll wait to see for more information. But you can see here there's a number of books. There's another one, an Amazing Spider-Man number 5, 5.0. That's been struck through. So that's obviously in the system. But look here, like you've got an Amazing Spider-Man 2, a 7.5, a number 3. In fact, you've got 3 of those, 6.5, 2 6.5s and 1 7. You've got an ASM 13, ASM 14, 15, 2 15s, 2 17s. So very much targeted on ASM, on Amazing Spider-Man. And that's consistent through this whole list. What's the surprise for everyone is we weren't expecting these types of books. We were worried that they might include these types of books, but the fact that they're there just adds another sort of dimension to this whole problem, right? Where, you know, we've got books out here that are just, you know, they're in the sort of thousands or tens of thousands, depending on the book here. So you can see here, there's a massive Spider-Man selection. AESM 129's first appearance of Punisher, that's in here. 3 of those 9s and 1 8.5, 194s. There's a stack of 194s. And these are all 9.8 universals, like 9.6s, 9.8s. So super high grade copies of these books. So clearly they've been sort of doing the rounds here. 104. Oh my gosh, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Like literally 194 seems to have been a massive target for this individual. I think the one that's the most striking, and there we go, another 194 Mark Jewelers insert, 9.8. That one has to be under suspicion, as you can well imagine, given how we think this individual did this. Then you've got a whole bunch of ASM 238s in line with ASM 194. As you can see here, this list just goes on and on and on. What's interesting on these moderns is there's not a lot of those that have been struck out as yet. So it doesn't look like any of these have gone through and hit CGC in terms of review. So ASM 238, really, really easy one. I think this is obviously the tattoos piece. So there's been some switching out. So that's the first appearance of the Hobgoblin, 238. And so I think, interestingly, here it's going to be around that. It's going to be around either the Mark Jewelers in this instance, Canadian price variant, and then obviously the tattoos, which should come in the book. But if they're not, again, that's a sort of interesting play here for this individual who's done this. Then we've got ASM 252, which is the first black suit. Again, a very popular book, very expensive book in high grade, in 9.8 in particular. I think around about the 5,000 mark. So again, it's no wonder this person was sort of targeting these books. Again, no one seems to have sent these in as yet because they're not struck through. Then obviously we have the perennial first appearance of Venom, Amazing Spider-Man 300. Again, you can see it's a cluster and mix all the way from 9.4s to 9.8s. So again, this individual's, you know, look at this. It's like a third of the list is ASM 300s. And again, a pricey book in a 9.8. You know, I mean, just look, I'm just scrolling through. There's just so many amazing Spider-Man's 300s. So, you know, this person must have thought they went to the bank and just kept like, it's for them, it was printing money just going through this whole process. So there's we've got 2 amazing Spider-Man 300s. That's the first 2 that is in this list that are struck through in terms of that. So 2 out of that, you know, if we're thinking 350, there's probably 120 ASM 300s in this list, and there's only 2 been returned as yet to CGC. ASM 361, Amazing Spider-Man 678, and Avengers 1, 5.5, Avengers 57, the first division. One of those has been returned in, struck out, as you can see. And again, I mean, you sort of see the rhyme and reason, but there's some really interesting, like Catwoman 51, Daredevil number 1 from 1964, 2 of those, some very early Fantastic Fours in here as well. Fantastic Four number 2, Fantastic Four 12, 45, 48, 2 giant-size X-Men. Incredibly worrying there in terms of that because of the popularity. And then we come, obviously, to the perennial favourite, first appearance of Wolverine, full appearance of Wolverine, Hulk up 181. So this, again, huge list of these. One is a one. How many? Not as many as the ASM 300 because these are probably not as low-hanging fruit as the 300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 of those out of the 350. Again, ranging all the way from 9.2s, 9.4s, 9s, 8s, 7.5s, 9.2s. Nothing there that's massive in terms of like super grade. But again, most of those you'd sort of look in question and sort of go, if they're all blue labels, which they all are, do they have the value stamp intact? And if those individuals are holding those books, they won't know for sure until these books are checked by CGC. So we haven't got any of those in yet. Then none of those have been struck through. Got Incredible Hulk 340, the Amazing Wolverine and Hulk cover by Todd McFarlane. Again, 9.8s in this book. 1 Mark Jewelers in here. So again, you'd be interested to see what the actual grade of that book is. Then you've got Iron Man number 1. Some Journey into Mysteries. They are checked off the list. 283s, the first appearance of Thor. So 2 of those are checked off the list as an 8 and a 7. 1 remaining outstanding there. A Journey into Mystery 85, first Loki, Stan Lee and Larry Lieber on the cover. I signed on the cover in 20. Oh no, so yes, that would be a signature series book. Again, no one's found that. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. Again, great books. Books that I own, but luckily I'm not part of this. I haven't bought these. I've graded my own, so luckily I'm sort of not unaffected. But you know, these are books that people would normally have gone out and got. So potential. There's a Mark Jewelers insert Secret Wars 8 there. Again, interesting to see what's, you know, if that's just a terrible thing if that's happened. Marvel Team at 141. Not sure about that one, why that's in the list. Then we come to New Mutants 98. A number of these, as you can see, Mark Jewelers, which were identified in the first pass. There's an NYX number 3. First, I forget her name now. Silver Surfer number 1, Submariner number 1 both from 1968, a 9.2 signature signed by Stan Lee, and a 9.8 signature signed by Stan Lee. The Tales of Suspense 39, 2 of those, 7 Universals from 1963. Worryingly as well, there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1 in there. So we're assuming here that this is the first print because it doesn't state any other printing. And there was some conjecture because there was a photo with the said individual that apparently one of the other posters that discovered this 9.9 newsstand saw. that in the background. And so now it looks like that's confirmed that there was a potential issue with this book. So we'll wait with bated breath on that. Again, super pricey book, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. So we'll see how that turns out. Then we've got 2 X-Men 148, interesting double cover. Not a huge key there, but interesting that's on the list. And then we come to X-Men 266, so that's the first Gambit. 1 Mark Jewelers in there, 2 Mark Jewelers in there, apologies. So we'll see how they turn out. Campbell variant of the Wolverine #1. 2 of those, a 98 and a 96. Wolverine 88. And then some X-Men 94s, 3 of them. 94, 96, and another 94. So that'll be interesting, especially when you can see the books that I'm about to go through in a minute and show you some of the pickup from the end of the year. So, and then last but not least, X-Men 141 signed by Stan Lee. So again, none of these are checked out. So realistically, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. 7, 8 out of the 350 books. Only 8 have gone back to CGC so far. So, look, if you're affected by this and you haven't seen this list, go through your books, double check that you've got nothing impacted. Let's clear these out and get these out of the system, because clearly there's some issues with this. So we'll see how it goes. Let me just quickly move to the comments. We've got people. Hi, Digger. How you doing? Let me just bring this up. They should fix the label, maybe add a security tag inside. Yes, agreed. I think that's a security tag would be useful. The question there is, and I think some people have mentioned it, is the privacy of that whole piece, how that works, what it means. I'd be interested to see what everybody else thinks around, what other things they can do. I talked about the idea of just marrying the label with the book in some way, shape, or form. I'm, not sure, but yeah, Diggers, lots of ASM there. I mean, he clearly this person knew where the money was. ASM, Amazing Spider-Man, just completely grabs everybody's attention. It's a super keen book in everybody wants to own Amazing Spider-Man run. So getting those keys is super important. So yeah, it's not a great look. I'm glad that CGC are doing stuff to fix it. Let's just I'll keep everyone updated in terms of the books as and when. But yeah, I don't have too much more to add to this. As I say, it's good to see that list, but shocking how many books were in there, and also the mix of the books. I'm particularly worried by those Silver Age keys that are in there, because I think we initially thought it was only going to be these moderns where you could sort of do some dodgy work, but it'd be interesting if this is more broad. There's been some talk that this person may have had multiple accounts, so we'll see. But I'm sure CGC are doing their due diligence now. It's good that they've actually reacted. I know they were slow at the beginning, but at least they're out there now. So let me just get this off the stage. So that's CGC done. If there's anything else you want to talk about, please feel free to add it into the chat. And it's good to have everyone here. Maybe we'll switch and I'll show you the books that I got on that last day of 2023. You may also notice as well, which way do I point? This one. You may also note that I've changed the logo. I did this this week. I thought new look, new year, new look. I love the still only 35 cents logo, but I wanted to sort of I took this thinking, so this is a sort of amalgam of the Comics Code Authority stamp, but then also with the Hey Kids comics. So you'll notice the color on the still only 35 cent is the same colors from the Hey Kids comics. So it's inspired by both, trying to create an amalgam. I was messing around with logos over the weekend. So this will be new logo for a little while, may revert back, may experiment with some other stuff and other logos, but I quite like love this idea. I love taking some of these graphics, messing around with them, doing some interesting stuff, creating my own. So this will be the new logo for a little while. May change it every year, just to sort of mix it up and give people a sense. But yeah, there'll always be sort of comic inspired and some other mix to it. But yeah, I just want to mess around in terms of the look and feel of the channel. You'll notice some changes. You notice the new intro potentially when we first ran that. So yeah, I'm just having a play around, seeing what sticks, seeing what we like. So any feedback on the new logos, on the design, what sort of content you want to see. As I say, I've got a couple of new videos coming. I got my first deliveries for 2024, and I'm also planning a video in terms of collecting goals. Everybody else on YouTube in the collecting community seems to be doing that, so I thought I may as well do the same thing. I've found a few books that are of interest, and hopefully you'll get some value out of it. So let's just bring up the books that I got. Now, let's see. We want to add to the stage, and I want to remove me. Add to the stage, and there we have it. So, right, let's get this started. Let me just take a coffee break whilst we wait. So, first off the list, this is one of the books I'm missing. I'm collecting full list of Tales of Suspense, trying to complete my run of Tales of Suspense, all the hero versions at the moment. I may move backwards. I've started to do that with some of the other sort of Silver Age keys. So, for instance, Amazing Fantasy, I have got, I think it's Amazing Fantasy 12, which is the prototype of Dr. Octopus, which is currently in the UK, waiting for me to pick up. I'm going to head over there in the next couple of months. So yeah, I'm starting to pick up Amazing Fantasy if I can, Tales of Suspense, Tales to Astonish, but I'm trying to move not just into the hero realm, trying to complete that full run, but the full run, and primarily in UK price variants. This was missing from my run. So Tales of Suspense 56. This is the first appearance of the unicorn. Not in super fantastic shape, but good to add to the personal collection in terms of the run. Early Iron Man there, red and gold suit. The next up is another one missing from my Tales of Suspense run. Again, I would have liked a UK price range, but this the individual that was selling these, the background with this whole story is that they came online, had a whole host of books, and they were begrudgingly selling their collection because they're looking to buy a house. And so they're sort of trying to get a deposit. So I was very happy to be able to help out here, take the books, give them a really good home. This is Tales of Suspense 99. So this is the last issue in the Tales of Suspense run. The numbering was then continued in Captain America. So Captain America 100 is where this came from. So Iron Man dropped out of the title, went to the holding issue, which was Iron Man and Submariner issue, that issue number 1, that one shot. But then from issue 100, it switched to Captain America, so it was no longer Tales of Suspense. So yeah, good to have it in the PC. I will get another version of this, I think, over time. It's a little bit rough here. You can probably see on the corners, on the spine, sorry. But yeah, happy to have it in the PC. That's a good book to add to the list. Then we have I'm going to move these slightly just to get them in the light so that you get a better, that's much better. There you go. And actually, let's just move this as well. So let's add that there and hide that so you can see more clearly. There you go. So as you can see, I'm messing around with the layout. I've got a few new sort of graphics here and there. So we'll move this around. So then we've got Marvel Superheroes Presents 19, solo story of Kazar. This one's in pretty good shape, considering. It's Herb Trimpe cover on here. A Smith and Herb and Trimpe cover. So really happy to get that. I've got a lower grade copy of this already, but yeah, having this will sort of replace my other copy. Not sure I'll send it in for grading. Not that much of a valuable book, but a nice one to have anyway. But yeah, I love that's a nice cover. Love that cover. It's interesting because this then informed my collecting goals for 2024, which I'll cover in a future video. But yeah, you can probably guess what that book will be. And if you want to put it in the chat, more than happy to chat through that. Then we've got more Marvel superheroes, the reprints. These are the reprints from the run. Again, these are in reasonably good grade, nice copies. This one has a bit of damage down the bottom left-hand side, but this is a reprint of Daredevil #4, which is the first Purple Man. Strange Tales 94, which is Pildar the Plunderer. And then we've got X-Men #5. So that's the first Asteroid M in here. So yeah, nice to have that, especially if you don't have the original books. Marvel Superheroes 25. This one is really quite a nice looking copy. This reprints X-Men #6, where Namor is revealed as a mutant. Tales to Astonish 60, which is the relaunched title series, and Daredevil #5. Tales to Astonish #60, which is the first relaunch story with the Hulk, post Incredible Hulk #6. Then we've got Daredevil #5, which is the first Matador in here as well. And then this one, beautiful condition, beautiful cover. Love this. This is number 27. So this is reprints Daredevil #7, which is the first red suit, battle against Submariner. Tales to Astonish 68, and that for where the Hulk battles the leader. And then X-Men #8. So it's the first appearance of Unus the Untouchable. So again, nice to have these. I have some of the originals. So Tales to Astonish 68. I don't have the X-Men 8. So yeah, it's good to sort of get these as placeholders until I can actually fill in the gaps on the collection. Then we move to some Thor books. Again, these are in good condition. So this is a issue 142 featuring the Super Skrull in here. I've always thought this cover was a little strange, especially given the way the Super Skrull's eyes always were. I mean, I'm not sure if Jack deliberately tried to make this character look quite goofy, but as you probably have heard in previous videos, I do have a soft spot for the Super Skrull. So this is a great cover. If I could correct the eyes, I probably would. Make him a little bit more menacing rather than googly googlies, as you can see. Here are his little googly eyes. So he's the nearsighted Super Skrull. But again, great book to have. Wonderful cover. Love the yellows here. So we'll see how that turns out. May go to CGC on that one. Then we've got a Thor 144. Nice looking copy. Some markings here. Couple of spine ticks. You can probably see. So not super high grade, but again, decent looking copy. This one I think has a tear in this top corner. So this is Thor 145. Not super of key significance. Great cover. Again, all of the Thor covers were Jack Kirby early on and super fantastic artwork. So again, good. This was missing. Again, these were missing from my PC with exception to 142. But the 142 is a much higher quality grade copy than the one I've already got. So that will replace that one in the PC. 145, as you can see, as I say, there's that tear. Looks like a tear here. A couple of minor spine ticks. So not sure I'll submit it. This one is in excellent, super high grade. I believe, let me just double check. Yeah, I have a 9.0 of this book. Is that right? Yes, a 9.0 of this book already. First appearance of the Wrecker from the Wrecking Crew. I'll probably definitely submit this one. It's also got in here, which I'd forgotten about, is the origin of Black Bolt. So you would get a Thor story, and then you'd also get an Inhuman story, and we'll come to that in a minute because the book after that follows on with that. So you get more Black Bolt and Inhumans in these stories. So, but yeah, this one's significance is obviously the first appearance of the Wrecker. Love the Wrecking Crew, despite their shambolic or very, very muted look in the She-Hulk TV show. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what grade this one gets, see if it beats my 9.0. But that one is definitely going to go to CGC and probably needs one of my custom stickers that I put on these. Issue 149. This one does have a little issue, so it won't be going to CGC. But again, this will probably replace the one in my PC. I don't know if you can see that. Issue 149. This one does also feature the origin of Black Bolt and Inhumans as well. So this one covers the origin of Black Bolt, i.e. his birth, but then this covers his broader origin and also of the Inhumans as well. Then we have issue 152. Again, not massive key significance on this book. It's in good condition. Got some damage on the top corner, top of the book here. But yeah, need a decent copy to sort of go into the PC. Great cover by Jack here. But yeah, I'm happy with that. This one is in really good condition, and I will be grading. And the reason why this one I will be grading is this is the first appearance of Mangog. And I'd been after this for a little while, and I just forgot that I was looking for this issue and just picked it up. Didn't even think about the significance. And it wasn't until I got it home that I realized, oh my God, that's the first appearance of Mangog, because I was actually trying to buy this a few months ago over about a year and a half ago, when Donny Cates did that God of Hammers story, and Mangog was part of that. And so, yeah, I'm keen to sort of get this book, see what it looks like in terms of the grade. It looks pretty good. It's got a couple of little non-color breaking ticks here. There's a little bit of damage to the top corner, but overall, a decent looking book. So I'll send that into CGC, especially given its age. Then we've got a copy of Thor 156. Again, not great in terms of key significance, but it does have this amazing Jack Kirby cover with the sword on there. So happy to have that in the collection. Not a bad looking copy either. Couple of issues, but again, you expect that on books of these at this age. Then we come to the sort of start of the really big boy books. So this one, I can't remember how much. I'll give you a sense of how much I paid for this towards the end. And you can tell me whether or not I overpaid or underpaid or what you think. But I think I did okay out of this. I think the individual still got what they needed in terms of the collection. So basically, this is the first Ramatut. So this is first Pharaoh Ramatut, later revealed to be Kang the Conqueror. So you would have seen in Ant-Man Quantumania at the end credits scene, Ramatut appears in that sequence as well. So again, this is a good one to have. Issue 19 of Fantastic Four, early. It's got some issues. I think at the back there is there's a little bit of a piece that's about to come off. So I'll be very careful in terms of getting this submitted. But again, key book, super happy with it. A little bit of issue down here, but presents really, really well. So I'll probably get this one graded. Nice book to have in the collection, especially if you're into Kang. And it's absolutely one of the key parts of the Kang mythos. Next up, and I think I showed this on, I'm trying to remember which stream I showed this on. Oh, yeah, I think I showed this on Swaggerhoss's stream the day that I picked it up, because I think that's when he was, the day after I picked this up. So early Daredevil, issue 6 here. First appearance of Mr. Fear and the Fellowship of Fear. Beautiful looking copy. Has a couple of issues. You can probably see the spine. It's almost coming away from the cover there. But yeah, presents again really well. Suspect this is in the sort of like 6 range, so worth grading, worth getting it in there, adding it to the personal collection. Now we've got some getting to the really big ones. This is a stunning copy of Amazing Spider-Man 61. This is the first cover appearance of Gwen Stacy. Look at the colors on this book, and also the corners. There's literally nothing on this spine. It is a beautiful book. So this is totally going to CGC. Very, very happy with the result of this. This is a stunning book to have. I've been avoiding Spider-Man for a while, but I'm being sucked in. My collection is getting pretty good now in terms of the keys, so I may have to look and target getting a full run, at least up until the end of the McFarlane era, where, you know, I've got some Todd issues in my Raw collection. So I'm being slowly but surely dragged in, and having beautiful looking copies like this isn't helping. So this is definitely going in the PC and will be graded at CGC. So we'll see how that turns out. And then talking of Amazing Spider-Man, this was a great one for me because I've already got some very early silvers. And particularly, the nice thing about this one, it's in not great shape, but, you know, books of this age, early Amazing Spider-Mans, you're not going to complain. So issue 10, this is the first team appearance of the Enforcers, Fancy Dan, Ox, and Montana, and the first appearance of Big Man. This is a UK price variant, so consistent with the rest of my collection. So I couldn't pass this up when I saw it, even at this sort of lower grade. So yeah, happy to have that in the collection. There is, I'll just show you some of that. Like there's creasing here, but I reckon this could hit, you know, a 4, 5, especially when you hold it up next to some of the other books I've got from the earlier Amazing Spider-Man run. But, you know, I've already got issue 1 and 2. Now I've got issue 10. I've got issue 13, 14, and 15. So, you know, it's my early Amazing Spider-Man's collection is building up. So, yeah, I'm pretty much in now from an Amazing Spider-Man standpoint. And then brings us to this little beauty. Amazing Spider-Man 316. First full cover of Venom. It's his 3rd appearance. This one has a couple of minor spine ticks. But yeah, beautiful cover to have. Newsstand, as you can see. I don't want to reveal what's underneath. Don't want to reveal what's underneath just yet. So yes, this great book to have. Beautiful cover. There are a couple of spine ticks on the back. I'm going to have to give this a press just to see if we can get rid of some of those. But yeah, again, my Amazing Spider-Man run, I will probably collect it now and probably switch to that end of the McFarlane era. But this goes really well with that. And then to cap it off, this one, X-Men 94. First team appearance of the new X-Men in the actual title, notwithstanding Giant Size X-Men #1. Do own a copy of that. I think it's a 92, I think, from memory. But this is the second new team appearance, first team appearance in title. There are a few issues with this. So you'll notice here, I'll just see if I can zoom this in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 color breaking. This corner's a bit, well, really soft and damaged. So I reckon this is in the sort of like 8 range with those issues. Still presents really well. Still good to have in the PC. It's one of the books that I'm missing from that new X-Men run. So, yep, this will go to CGC. We'll see what grade it gets. I'll do a separate video on this. See what we think. Why not a pence copy? Hang on, let's bring this up. Why not a pence copy? I wish there was. So I'm not sure there is. I think there is a pence copy of this. So I'd love to get one. And most of these I'd love to get pence copies. But I pick them up when I can. This person's obviously based out of Australia, but getting that amazing Spider-Man pence copy, that made my day. So yeah, super happy with this. A great little collection. I think all in all, paid around about $3,500 for these. What's that in US dollars? So it's about 2,300. And I think, given the grade of these, and some of the key significance of these books, I think that's a worthwhile investment. And again, it was really good because I was able to help out this individual, particularly in terms of that's going to them to be able to help them get into a new home. So again, that's when this hobby is great, when you're helping individuals out and you are actually going to become the custodian of those amazing books. So I'm super happy with that. Mad Spidey's in the house. Hello, mate. Welcome. Stop asking Poms about pence copies. Exactly. We just surround ourselves with pence copies. So, yep. I do have a few other things I wanted to share. How have we got? We got another 10 minutes at least before we finish this off. So I may sort of take you through some of the stuff that I've been digging out over the last couple of days. No pence copies in here, Spidey, but there's some interesting stuff. So maybe I'll start with this little sucker. So this, I'm debating doing a video on this, and let me know in the comments what you think. This one here is the Incredible Hulk trading card set from the 2003 film. Now, not everyone's a big fan of that film. I personally didn't like it very much. There's some scenes in there that are pretty good. But the thing that's nice about this trading card set is that you have the chance of, let's see if I can get it in view for you. Well, is that going to work? There we go. Find a 1-of-1 Jack Kirby cut signature card. Now, my understanding is that card has never been found. And then in addition to that, there is a Stan Lee and Jack Kirby card that was not listed on the box that is in here as well. So there's apparently 2 signature die-cut cards that have never been found, and I'm happy to be corrected. So I'm toying with opening this up because supply of these is sort of starting to dry up. I picked this up pre-Comic Boom because I was getting into cards, and we'll come to that in a minute because I want to share some more cards with you as well. So may look to crack this open. Let me know what you think. Should I crack it open? Should I give it a go? The cards aren't worth that much, and they're not. There's some good ones in here. They do a lot of Hulk covers in here, Hulk cover cards. So probably worth it just for that. Didn't cost me very much, so happy to give that a crack. Unfortunately, there is a winner Hulk #1. I don't need that anymore because obviously I've got the two of mine, and that competition has disappeared. So just looking for that die cut card in there. So that's a nice one to add to the mix. And talking of pack ring, what's this pack rip contest does well for views? Yes, well, I'll give it a go. I've got as well, on top of these, I've got a Marvel Impel first series, 2 boxes of that, and I've got 2 Marvel Masterpieces boxes as well. So may look to do that and see how they go. But while we're on the subject of cards, I dug all of my collections out over the weekend. with a view of sending these in for grading with PSA. And actually, it'd be good to get a sense from the community as well. Which is what would you do with these now? Like, is PSA still the best, or is actually CGC their grading useful in this instance? Which one fetches the most? I'm assuming it's still PSA. I've got a few PSA 10s, and we'll show you those in a minute. But we'll probably start with these 1974 Topps cards. Now, I might zoom in on this so you get a better view. Let's see if that works. There you go. Oh my gosh, this works. There you go. Look at that. All right, so this is the 1974 sticker collection from Topps, as I say. And you'll see here there's some amazing cards, and these are all in fantastic condition. I won these in a lot in the UK auction house at a reasonable price. But yeah, they're all in order, all beautifully presented. So you've got Captain Marvel, Hawkeye previously. You've got the Falcon. Got the Thing. Frankenstein's monster. And again, all of these with very corny lines. Maybe it's my breath. Shang-Chi, all aspirin is not alike. Yeah, a little bit close to the bone, that one. Oh, dear. What's this? Oh, you don't need 2 boxes of masterpieces. Just give me one. Yes, okay, fair enough. I'll think about it. That looks fantastic. Yes, these are great. These are fantastic. Beautiful cards. Let's see what else we got. Doctor Strange. Don knows house calls. Sure doesn't taste like tomato juice. A Dracula card from that issue 1. PSA is the best. Yes, I think so too. We'll see how we go with that. But yeah, I've submitted to PSA before, so yeah, I'll just probably resubmit them to PSA. Human Torch number 1, tan, don't burn. Apt in Australia. Daredevil, badness makes me see red. I'm still looking. There's a set before this in the 60s that is set in the 60s, which is a Don Russ set, which I've sort of came across recently, and I want to get some of those, but they're in the, we're talking, you get them graded, they're in the sort of like hundreds each card, right? So getting a box, I think one box, was it like $1,000 for one pack? And there's been a couple of rips of those. So we'll see. I'll see if I can ever find one of those, but this is, for now, this is probably the best that I'm going to get. There you go, an Iron Man, Fight Rust, Werewolf by Night, only my hairdresser knows for sure. And this one's interesting. This is one of the, so there are some variants with these cards. So this is Thor number 1. Support your local Thunder God. Now the variation on this is one was printed with the copyright on the left, and one was printed with the copyright on the right. Now there are probably, I think, 4 in this first set that are variants. This is one of them. So yeah, I'm collecting those. I'm going to try and get the variants as well. It's a deep rabbit hole, this one. There are a number of variants. There are printed sheets you can find. But yeah, this is nice to have these 2. I'll probably seek out the others and see if I can add them to the collection. Ghost Rider, Peter Fonda, look out. Look at that. Beautiful. That's one of my favorites. Just how good is that? Then we have the Mummy, Living Mummy. Which hand does the M&Ms? Which one do you think? Shout out. Anyone know which one's got the hat? Which one's got the M&Ms? If you do know, put it in the comments. We've got a Morbius. Which way to the blood bank? Again, beautiful looking card. Kazar, I think this is one of the ones that is a variant. I know the next one is definitely a variant card, which I don't have both. But yeah, there's the Kazar. Be kind to animals or else. There's your classic Spidey for you. Who'd you expect? Little Miss Muffet. I think that's definitely a variant card. There's a variant card available for this. And I think that variant has a different text in it from memory. So yeah, that's a nice one. Captain America. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy. Conan. Great old Conan there. And not to be beaten, we've got Cole. Who's your favorite, Cole or Conan? For the Doctor Doom fans in the room, this one does have a variant, not a text variant, but the copyright on the left-hand side, I don't have it. But this is a great card. I'm dressed to kill. Absolutely. Then we've got Son of Satan. Damien Hellstrom. The devil made me do it. No, this is the one with the variant. Apologies. This is the other Spider-Man one. So this is Drive Me Up the Wall. The other one, I think it says something like Bug Out. That one is the variant one rather than the previous Spider-Man I showed you. So, but again, look at these cards. They're so cool. So cool. I think that Prince of Cheese, they were from, I think there was two sets, 1974 or 5, and then 75, 76. I do have, I think this is the original set. Let's just bring this in here so you can see. They also had a checklist. So this is 1974. So this one has got some marks on their checklist, obviously. Let me zoom out again for you. So you can probably see this better. But yeah, 1974. And then what you'd get on top of that is you'd get this. You'd build this cover. There you go. Let's just move that out of the light slightly. So the cards would fit this. You get checklists that had that. But yeah, these are so cool. Let's just move this to there. Then we've got a Dracula. Nice copy. Flying drives me bats. Another Human Torch 2. When you're hot, you're hot. No kidding. And we got another Thor number 2. He said blondes have more fun. There's some 1966 Batman cards. Likely I'm trying with buying. Haven't picked up any cards in years. No, again, it's I haven't bought cards for years, but got into it. Got into it during COVID, during lockdown, and the comics boom, and sort of just completed a whole bunch of everything, sort of the 90s cards. But these are the ones that I'm sort of really digging into now. These, getting high quality versions of these, they're not as widely available as you might think. So that's why I'm going for these. And also the artwork on them is a little bit more interesting. So this one, Hulk number 1. So finally we're at Hulk. Who stole my right guard? Thing number 2. So why Hulk gets 1 and Thing gets 2, you'll never know. I don't know what the rationale was. I'm going to pieces. Not a bad little one for Ben Grimm there. Captain America 2. Look, Ma, no cavities. That cheesy smile. Got a Dr. Octopus. I'm just a well-armed crook. Valkyrie, support women's lib. There you go. Look at that. And Mr. Fantastic. I'm the long arm of the law. Beautiful. Darn that cheap hairspray. Yeah, I like the art on this more than the very graphic. Yeah, they're really good, these. Yeah, there's a 1975 set, which I need to get. I've got one of the stickers from the 1975 set. I do have the checklist for the 1975 for the 5-1, but not anything else. There's Medusa. Damn that cheap hairspray. Got a Black Widow. I'm Natasha, fly me to Miami. An Iron Fist, Kung Fu-y, a man thing, not a giant size man thing, just a normal size man thing. Or in this instance, a tiny size man thing. I dropped the soap in the shower. What's that, Spidey? I definitely want to tip my toe into cards again. I want old school cards, not these new game oriented cards. Yeah, agreed. The card stuff is really cool to get back into. I do have a stack, Spidey, so let's touch base offline. I've got a load of overcopy, so we can sort of, I can help you out there. No worries. Green Power from the Hulk. This is Hulk number 2. This one I don't think is going to grade very well because it's not that well positioned on the card. So I may not submit that one, but still a good card to have. It's always good to, I think grading with the cards is really good because you get to see the backs. These are interesting as well. There's nothing on the backs, by the way. They're all blank. Although what I have heard is that on one run in particular, they put the stats of some American football players. So they used that sticker sheet for that. And that's an interesting one where you've got Marvel on the front in terms of the sticker, but on the back, you've got these sort of stats for these individual US footballers or baseball players. So fascinating how that one worked. And then last but not least, Luke Cage. I was a £98 weekly. So that's my set of the 1974 Topps sticker pack from Marvel. I'm just going to quickly show you inside here as well. So this is that Thor variant, but underneath I've got some duplicates. So I've got Thing again, the Man Thing, a Doctor Doom, but this is from the second set. This is one from the second set. So this is Iceman from the second set. I'll never eat another frozen dinner. So a great card from that second set. So this is going to send me on the path to getting the 1975 top set as well. So pop these back in to sleeve. But yeah, those are my overs. So again, I do have some overs, Spidey. May submit them for grading, but we'll see. All right. What else do we have to show you? So yeah, digging out this stuff. Let me just pull this back to where it is so you get a better view. Is that now working? Let's have a look. There you go. All right, so we've got our comic stash. We've got our trading cards. We've got our Topps set. What else have I got to show you? So how about some original art trading card sets? So this is a sketch card that I picked up of all people, Captain Britain. So this is they're in these new modern packs. You get these sketch cards, which are usually the chase cards that you want to get. So I managed to pick this one. This is a folding card, so it folds in 3 ways. I don't want to keep it folded, so I'm again going to submit this to CGC, not CGC, to PSA. Get them to grade this. But love this. This is quite a lovely little sketch of Captain Britain. It's a bit cartoony, but I'll take that every day. And then a beautiful one on the back as well. So you get 2 for the price of 1. The artist is a person called Spencer Douglas. This is a 1 of 1, as you can imagine. So yeah, super happy to get that and dig that out of the storage locker. What else do we have to share with you? So I've got a number of these sort of sketch cards. So I got this. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let's zoom in a little bit for you. So we got a Thor sketch card as well. And this is from the Bronze Age trading cards, Sketch Effects sketch card. Again, a 1 of 1. I think the artist here is A. Morales. So we'll add that in here. Add that to the mix. Let's just move some of these out of the way so you get a better glimpse. Let's move this. There you go. This one I shared, I think, on one of my previous Instagram posts. So if you do follow me on Instagram, you may have seen this one. I got this from I was part of a Whatnot stream where they were cracking packs, and I was fortunate enough to get this one. So beautiful Punisher sketch. Not sure who the artist is, but love that. Just getting that sketch card. So again, these sketch cards I'm going to send in and get graded because they're pretty cool. That's a nice one to add in. This one, I saw this one and don't know who the artist is, but really, and it's a Thor Dark World card. But beautiful. I love that. Sort of super stylized picture of Mjolnir. Yeah, love that sketch. So happy to pick that one up. This one, I will take this one out. So this is a Red Skull sketch. Not sure who the artist is. Doesn't say. But on the inside, that's what you get. So not only do you get Red Skull on the front, very similar to the Captain Britain, this is one of those folding cards where you get to enjoy the benefit of both. So this is beautiful. Great Red Skull. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit and you can see it. Great looking sketch card. Love that. So yeah, that's from Going Twice. I think I'm not Going Twice auctions. I used to go on there all the time. Can't really get that back in there, so we'll probably leave it for now. And I think that's all of the sketches that I have to share with you today. I do have some other stuff here that's probably interesting. There's one in particular that I want to share with you. Some of these are all going into PSA. And we'll probably probably cover more of this on the next live stream because we're almost at an hour now, or actually we're over an hour. But I do want to share with you a couple of other cards that are really, part of the collection. Let me just see if I can dig one out. The first one I want to show. Oh no, I do have one more sketch, which is a Venom. So Kirby's art comics. I'm not sure who drew that, but yeah, that's an interesting looking Venom there. I don't know if you can see it clearly. Doesn't look like any Venom on it. It looks more like a sort of, anyway. Still, it's a sketch card. You can't complain about a sketch card. So, but this is probably one of the ones that a lot of people are looking for. It's the hologram card from the 94 set. I don't know if you can get this in the light. Let's have a look. There you go. You can see it. So it's Spidey. Another one for Mad Spidey to enjoy. That's it. Here you go. Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. But there's one I want to really share with you, if I can just dig it out. Just give me 1 second. Let's see. Does that light up? Oh, you can see it if I put it here. How about that? Whoa, you get a full effect there. Let me just see. Oh, I think I may have found it. Here we go. Let's have a look. Here it is. Now, this one. Now, you probably can't see it. This one is super, super rare. And I don't want to touch it because this one is Marvel 1993. You probably can't see it very well. That does not come out at all, does it? Oh! You see that? So this is the blue variant. Now, from memory, there's a, what is this, Spider-Man Venom? Let me just have a quick look. Marvel, 1993, blue, Venom, and Spider-Man. Let's have a quick look. Hollow. So, yes, that's it. That's my understanding. So, essentially, this card, if you can actually see it, traditionally is in this green, right? But the blue one is a sort of like, it's very rare to get hold of the predominantly blue one. And this is probably why we're having issues looking at it, right? You can possibly, I'm just trying to get it in the light so you can actually see what this thing looks like. Can you see? May have to get a photo, but when you look at it straight on and you get the light right, it's totally blue and very little green at all. And so the blue one is the much more rarer version of this card. So I'm going to be submitting that to PSA, see what it comes out with. But let's have a look. We do have a couple of other of these amazing holograms. Like this one works really well. This is Wolverine. I've got a couple of those. And again, you can see the color variations. This one's more yellow. This one's a little bit more green. We've got a War Machine there. And then this Silver Surfer. So great. But I should be going through the cards over the next week or so, working out what's going to go to a PSA and get a submission in there, and then do an unboxing of those when they come back in. But yeah, I've got my cards out. I've got some more stuff to show, but I'll probably leave that to next week. And I'll probably end closing the show now because I've got to join Spidey's stream if he's still having it at 12 today. And yeah, be good to hear what you thought of all the content, all the cards. Do you collect cards yourself? If so, or if not, what cards do you want to get? What are you looking for? What eras? Oh, I've just found another couple of sketches. So I got this great Spidey by Alex McGraw. I can't really read that. But yeah, a great Spidey there. So that's from the Sketch Effects sketch card. And this is an interesting one. So this is a black, in one of the sets, they had these printing plates. So I picked this up, which is Singularity, which I think the character is first appeared in A-Force #1. So I picked that one up. Again, this is a one-of-one printing plate. So this is the black printing plate. Super happy to get that in the collection. That'll be going to PSA as well. So, all right. Well, as always, if you can like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell for any notifications. It's been great chatting to everyone. Great to have everyone on the stream. Thanks for joining. Prince of Cheese, Graphic Man, Mad Spidey, obviously, and Digger Jim as well. Thanks all for joining. I'll probably catch up with you on the Spidey stream in about an hour or so. But in the meanwhile, look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon.